Hello Floss too. Welcome back to the Science Knitster channel. My name's Deb or Deborah and I go by Science Knitster on Instagram and Twitter. It is, can I see the clock up here? It's just after 9 o'clock on Sunday, April 18th, I believe. I guess I should have checked the date. Yes, it's the 18th. Anyway, this is a channel about all the crafty things I do, but these days it's mostly cross stitch and other needlework, which is why I call it Floss Tube. And just want to welcome everyone and say thank you to I've got a few new subscribers since the last time I recorded, so thank you, and thanks to those of you that keep coming back and watching. I hope you enjoy seeing about what I'm up to and my stitchy journey. Lately I've been starting off by talking about what I'm drinking. I'm having tea this morning. And I am drinking one of my favorites, Smith Tea's Portland Breakfast, because sometimes I wish I lived in the Pacific Northwest. Actually, this morning it feels a little bit like the Pacific Northwest. We had some cold Canadian air come down and got a little bit cooler than we were expecting. Those of you that live up north are gonna laugh, but it got down into the 50s last night, which isn't entirely unusual for April, but not usually by this time. If we get into the high 60s at night still, that's pretty good, because pretty soon we'll be lucky to hit mid 70s at night. Yeah. And in fact, later this week, it's supposed to be 90 degrees, which is actually, I think, a little warm for this time of year, but it is what it is. Okay, so let's get started. I do have a couple of finishes, one knitting, one cross stitch. So if you're not into the knitting, it'll just take a second. I don't want to wait till the end, because if I wait till the end, I will probably forget. But if you were watching last time, you know I picked up Spring Hair Etching by Cecilia Turner, which was in last spring's, not this spring's, but last spring's Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. I love this magazine. In fact, I love it so much that I buy the print copy from my local needle workshop, and I also get a digital subscription because I can't wait for Judy to get it in and I need to see what's going on. So this is my version. Let's just say mine is unique. I think that's it. So the fabric is Mesa. It's 28 count Mesa by Picture This Plus. And I subbed out the brown is Caterpillar by Classic Colorworks, and the sort of pinky peachy color is Ripe Melon. And I pulled a fabric that I had, and then just picked some colors that I thought went with it. This was, when did I start this? I started this before I actually started keeping very good records. I think I was just starting to use the Xstitch app when I picked this up last spring. So it's been, I started it in March or April last year, whenever the magazine came out digitally. I think that's when I decided to get the digital version. Anyway, yeah, I made some mistakes, and I, for some reason, decided to do it over one. So it is pretty small. But that's good, because I have put this down. Those of you that saw me share some of my Christmas and winter things that I put up every year might recognize this. It had my Christmas angels in it, and then it had some Valentine's things in it, but this fits right, it fits. Trust me, I've put it in here. So now I just need to find 2 other things that I want to stitch up quickly. And so I have a spring, because I haven't had a spring thing for this. I had the angels, and I have the Valentines, and so I have nothing for like the rest of the year. So slowly but surely. There's 3 others of these, so I think I might try to do the same thing, put them over one. Actually, I have fabrics picked out for a couple of them already. Actually, I think for the rest of them, at least for fall and summer. And so hopefully, maybe I'll get to those sometime this year. And if I can, I'm looking for just little things. I'm not sure they'll all be cross stitch. I might do like I did for Valentine's, and maybe do something embroidery. I may actually just for the Valentine's one of the pieces is a Hardanger heart that I put sort of a red and pink fabric behind, because it's got you cut some of the threads and make holes, but it's pretty. And I might just put like a peachy pink fabric behind it, and then I only have to find one other thing to do. Okay, so that's one finish. My other finish was a knitting finish, and unfortunately I don't have the hat anymore because I gave it away last Wednesday to a coworker. So there's the finished hat. So I showed it in progress on my last floss tube, and it's a baby hat. I think this is the 3 to 6 month size. It is called the Rhythm hat, as in I've got rhythm. It's by Melissa Goodall. She goes by Stick Chick Knits, and the yarn I used is my favorite, Hazel Knits. This particular weight, it's a fingering weight, so basically sock weight, and the white is called Naked, sort of the creamy white, and the blue is called Cornflower. So those are my 2 finishes, and that's okay. That's where it needs to be. Let's see. So that was my finish. No new starts. I was really tempted. I really want to participate in Barbara Anna April, that Michelle Bendy Stitchy, and I think Erin Martini Stitcher, and I forget who else. It got going, but I've been dithering, as I do sometimes, about exactly what I want to do. Do I want to work on a Barbara Anna that I've already started? Do I want to start a new one? I had decided to start, and actually I have it right here, the new one that's in the latest Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. I had decided I was going to just do my own conversion and pull some threads and stitch this. But I also have a couple of Barbara Annas on the go. One is the whole fox in a dress that I started a year ago. Excuse me. I think I need a little drink of water. And actually would go along very nice with this one because it has, the same kind of arch with different colors, but same kind of arch thing going on. So, and then I have 2 kits from Nitka Moscow that I got last year, Miss Teapot and Miss Coffee. And Miss Teapot caught my eye. It's in my closet where I keep my clothes. This is a little studio apartment, so it's very compact. It caught my eye, I guess it was Friday morning. And my best friend Susan and I were emailing each other back and forth, and she was talking about something she was starting, and I'm like, yeah, like I really don't need to start anything new, but this thing is catching my eye. I actually pulled it out, and if I hadn't been so tired on Friday, I probably would have started it. But I got my second COVID shot last Saturday. My arm was sore for a few days. I did feel a little nausea. It was weird. It was just in the afternoons, a little bit on Saturday, the day I got the shot, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday probably Monday was the worst. And it was like right before I had an important meeting, all of a sudden I did not feel good. And my boss when he saw me, he's like, you look tired. You should go take a nap. Like, I don't have time to take a nap. But Tuesday, same thing started happening. So I just walked away from my desk. I meant it to be for like 20 minutes, half an hour. It ended up being more like 45 minutes, almost an hour. But I felt much better on Wednesday, and then I overdid it. And so Thursday and Friday, I was really dragging. And actually, I had to go to Corpus Christi, where my husband lives, to get my shot, because that's where I got my first one. It's a long story. It was a lot easier to register up there. So I went up there, and I had intended to come back on Sunday, but I was feeling kind of and hadn't been able to get some things done I needed to get done. So like, I'll stay till Monday. And then I was like, I'll stay till Tuesday. Like, I'll stay till Wednesday. And then I almost stayed till Thursday, but I was like, no, I need to get back. I wasn't planning to stay this long, and I left veggies in the fridge and stuff like that. So excuse my slurping, and excuse my my diversion there. I seem to do that. Okay, so that was my finish, and I don't know how I got into talking about Barbara Anna, but I did. Oh, because I was gonna to work on that, but I didn't. So I actually only worked on 2 things, and those of you that are return visitors probably know what one of them was, but let me talk about the other one first. I only worked on 2 things since my last recording, and one of them is Jessie Watson, 1816. It is a little gem from Hands Across the Sea. So that means that you can purchase this online and download it. I am stitching this on Access Commodities Legacy Linen. It is 45 count, and it is called Foxtail Millet. So I actually started this on February 14th. How do I know that? Because our Sampler Years group had a start on this on February 14th. And I made a little bitty start. Like, we were on for an hour or 2 together on Facebook, and I think I got like to there. So I put the rest of this in yesterday. Part of the time I watched Raspberry Stitcher, and part of the reason I picked this up is that she and a few friends are running, let me see if I can get this closer without getting it into my tea. She and a few friends are SALing this, stitching along on this particular one, because she wants to raise awareness about autism. And I thought that was a great thing. So, and part of the reason is the heart here, the way it's stitched, reminded her of the autism puzzle logo. And so I encourage you to watch her. I don't know. Let's see. I don't think she's posted a new one today. So if you're watching this on the 18th, look for her last 2 floss tubes. If it's past that, and she has one that posted since the 18th of April, then you just need to go back to watch the ones before that. One of them is labeled Floss Tube Special, and that's the one where she explains about why she chose this particular pattern, this particular piece, and she talks about what it's been like having a son. She started sharing some of her story, what it's been like having a son with autism, and both the joys and the tribulations of that. So I encourage you to watch that, and if this particular piece catches your eye, and you either want to learn more about autism, or you have someone with autism in your family and you want to join, I encourage you to join. She said she would be having Barbara, is her name, and I forget her last name, but her name's Barbara. I'm hoping I remember that. I know it starts with a B. I'm so bad with names. And I think I say that every time, but I am. Anyway, Raspberry Stitcher. She said she's gonna try about once a month to post about her progress on the piece. And she's got it all mapped out to finish it within a year. And she'll be posting about once a month a special floss, a floss tube special, where she talks about, shares information about autism. So my original plan with this piece was to stitch on it the 14th of every month, because our sampler years had started it on the 14th of February. But now I think what I'm going to do is whatever day I have time to watch her special post about autism, I will, while I'm watching that particular floss tube, and maybe some of her other floss tubes, we'll see how much time I have for stitching. I teach at a local community college, and I'm also department chair, and the semester's coming up, so it's getting like busier and busier. Anyway, I keep digressing. So my plan is to stitch on this piece while I'm watching hers. So I also had a guild meeting. I'm in the Tip of Texas chapter of the Embroiderers Guild of America, and then I also am a member of the Tudor Rose Sampler Guild, and they had a stitch in, so I went to that for a couple hours in the afternoon, and then I stitched on this a little bit last night. And I forgot to say, so I said what linen. What I didn't say is what threads, and I am stitching with the Overa Soie 103 silks. I don't have all the colors yet. I actually, this one I was able to buy at my local needle workshop, Judy's Stitchery Nook. Hi, Judy. And then I pulled a couple of these from Jane Fittis, which I started earlier this year, another Hands Across the Sea sampler, which I just haven't been feeling Jane lately. It's a beautiful, don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful sampler. I think what's holding me back is that I will soon finish the parts I can finish that I know I'm stitching as is, and I need to get into the initials. And I want to switch those out for initials from my family and maybe my husband's family. I haven't decided. And then I have to figure out, make sure, see if someone's charted those initials, and if not, chart any that aren't charted myself. And just right now, that's feeling a little daunting. So I've decided, plus the fact that I'm so far behind because I wasn't able to start until late. I think it started in June, and I really didn't get started until September. So I've decided to put that one aside until I figure out what the heck I'm doing, and concentrate on the other thing that I've been working on this month so far, which is Ann Roberts. Yet another Hands Across the Sea sampler. Let me put Jessie Watson away. Yesterday I was calling her Jane Watson. I don't know why. Probably because I was thinking about Jane Fittis, because I had pulled some of the threads out of Jane. Anyway, I need to get the rest of the threads for this. I'm really liking the 103s on 45 count. It is a little bit a challenge to stitch, especially when I first sit down to stitch it. I can stitch it on it with for me, a 5X pair of cheaters, which I have, which I sometimes use for 40 count also, depends on the 40 count. or I stitch with 4X and my Dublin lamp, which has a magnifier, and that's 2X. So if I start with that, and once I get used to stitching, then I can switch to the glasses, which are a little bit easier. Yesterday, mostly I stitched that and then switched to the glasses. I did get a pair of 6X cheaters that I thought might work better for 45 count, but the distance that I would need to hold the fabric, it doesn't work. But I have some 56 count that I absolutely have to use glasses, you know, the reading glasses and the Dublin lamp magnifier in order to stitch on. So I think I'm gonna try the 6X on those. I need to remember and look at because if it doesn't work for that either, I might be able to return them. I have to see. Might be too late. Might wait too long. Okay, so those of you that have been watching probably would love to see my progress on Ann Roberts. Maybe you would. Da-da-da. So I think last time I had the border matched up. I'll tell you a story about that in a second. And then, but I was still putting some of the motify things that needed to go around the border. So I have all of those in. I am filling things in. I tend to go by color. It just kind of depends. Like, and then if I get tired of a color, I'll jump, you know, once I finish a thread, I'll jump to another color for a little bit. But I think I'm going to go ahead and finish that sort of tawny brown, light brown, which I'm using apple cider, Gentle Arts apple cider for that. And then I might do the name. I've been sort of dithering about whether I'm going to put her name in there or not, but I think I am. And then I actually still need to put some little birds here. They're basically just backstitch. You know, they're supposed to look like birds flying. But I haven't put them in because I was thinking about putting my initials and the year in here. Oh, and I need to put the eyes and the sheep. The big thing I still need to do, and I haven't decided if I'm going to do it or not, is see where there's, you know, no stitch here and these spots. It's supposed to be the same color here. This, what am I using? I think I'm using Straw Bonnet. And I haven't decided. I mean, I think it looks fine like this. What do y'all think? I mean, it probably wouldn't take me that long because it's not that many stitches. It's just kind of start and stop are not my favorite things to do. So, anyway, this has been my comfort stitching, I have to say. I'm going to be ecstatic and sad when she's done. But I almost hate to put her away right now. I can't remember if last time, if I had all this filled in yet or not. But anyway, so yeah, I'm just kind of filling in. I need to put in her name. And then I'll have some fabric left to do something else with. And yes, I do kind of like to stitch close to the edge. I'm planning to frame this myself, so. Now that Susan has figured out framing, she can teach me. Right, Susan? Susan was my finisher for a number of years. Let's just say I took her, like, she was teaching finishing at a needle workshop in Austin, Ginger's Needlework and Framing, and pretty much every time she taught it, when I was living nearby, I would take her class and finish a piece because she would lead me through it. And at some point she's like, okay, you can come up for the weekend and you can come and sit in, but you're not paying for this again. So now we tend to, when we get together at Christmas, I try to finish a few things while I'm there. of course, we weren't able to get together this Christmas. Okay, where am I putting, oh, I'm over there. Okay, so let me see what else I got going. I've got my thing. I'm not always real good about writing. I even had one day where there was no stitching or knitting. That was Wednesday, the long work day. Okay, I decided what I wanted to do next was a WIPGO update. So I think I did a short WIPGO update last time, and this is going to be just about as short because I haven't been stitching on any of my WIPGO stuff. That's not true. Completely true. Hands Across the Sea. I have several of my spots are Hands Across the Sea. Choose a Hands Across the Sea and work on it for 5 days or finish it. So I changed up, here's my WIPGO board. I changed up my WIPGO board. I really should print this out so you can guys see this better. I changed up my WIPGO board to have another color so that I could track when I had actually completed a piece that hadn't been called yet. So that is the blue. So the two blues are, I think it's February and March, Hands Across the Sea. I had worked on Ann Roberts 5 days or more. And so April is looking to be the same. Only I hope it's going to be a finish. Fingers crossed. Depends on how much stitching time I have. But this month, the numbers were 21 and 3. So this is, for those of you that aren't familiar, WIPGO it's like bingo, but instead of, the bingo things, it's WIPGO. And so number 3 is P3, and 21 would be W5. So on my WIPGO board, 3 is Kringles, which I'll show you in a second. And 21 is That Quarter Shop's Home, which was a gift from Susan, my best friend. So this is home. And I actually almost pulled this out Friday instead of Ann Roberts, when I finally decided I was not gonna stitch on a Barbara Anna piece. So I pulled this out, and what I had started to do is the H here. I was just doing the outline of the H. Oh, maybe I don't have a mistake. I need to double check because I thought I had a mistake and now I don't think I do, because I think I had it upside down. That's how tired I was Friday, because I was like, I don't believe this. Because, well, long story short, several things I have pulled out that I haven't worked on in a while that I thought were just fine. When I sat down to work on them, I realized I had huge mistakes in that were probably not easily fudged. That happened on Jessie Watson. Fortunately, that one, it was like at the end of the last thread I had stitched with, so I could just take out the extra stitches. I think I mentioned last time, last month's WIPGO, one of the pieces was Shores of Hakran Hollow, and I had noticed a big boo-boo that it's going to have to come out. There's no way to fudge it. I don't think I could just stitch over it. Yeah, I've done that. When there's like one thing that's like in the wrong place, and if it's something I can cover it with like a darker thread and it'll work, I've done that and not pulled it out the old one, just stitched right on top of it. But I'm stitching on 40 count with one thread. I don't think that's gonna work. Anyway, So I need to look at this again, because after Friday when I looked at it and thought, oh no, I don't have the brain power to figure out if I can just keep going, or I put this down. But so anyway, I was trying to do the outline of the H so I could then just do fill in like during meetings and stuff, because that's on that fabric it was part of a kit, and it is 28 count, which I should be able to stitch on with my 40X, not 4X cheaters without a problem. You know, might be able to do it like during a meeting or whatever. And if it's just fill in, I don't have to count. I can do it mindlessly. Okay, so this is my crinkles. Oh, let me pull out. So I was like totally hepped up about this to use Laura of Brenda the Cereal Starter lingo. I was so excited by this last year when it came out at market. Like, I saw it at, I think Judy had already left for market, and I'm like messaging her on Instagram. Is like, Judy, did you see this? Can you give me the thread pack? Anyway, so I decided to do it on 40 count, and I started it last year, and I guess I've just been so enthralled with Ann Roberts that I haven't been stitching on a lot of other things, and I just never got back to this. And I've been meaning to pick it up for like my Mary 25, but I end up, if I do Mary 25, I end up going back to Mary Manatee instead. But anyway, so I have a ways to go on this puppy. So, and I'm stitching this on 40 count Sterling by Picture This Plus, I believe. And I'm using the called for threads, except that I am doing over 1 because I'm on 40 count. I mean, not over 1. 1 thread over 2. On linen, I normally stitch over 2. So my plan, if I can get Ann Roberts done and get Ann Roberts done early enough that I have at least a few days to work on a Barbara Anna, so I can participate in the Barbara Anna April, because I love her stuff. I just love the colors and the look of her stuff. And maybe even get to stitch on home a little bit, but I think that might have to wait till next month or the month after, because I got plans for next month already. Anyway, my plan, and if you watched my last Floss tube, you probably realize my plan, or any of them, my plans often go out the window quickly. So the plan is to, on the 25th, start working on crinkles and work on it for 5 days, so at least I can check off that whip go, and use crinkles for Mary 25. But we'll see. If Ann Roberts isn't done, I don't know if that's gonna happen, because I really want to finish Ann in April, because I have plans for May, because May is my birthday month. And I think I mentioned this last time, but just in case you're new here, or in case I didn't mention it last time, I'd been kind of thinking about what I wanted to do for my birthday, because it's a big one. I'm going to be 60. Obviously not 16, right? And I've been dithering, like I was thinking about last year's Queen of the May, but I think I have fabric for it. Do I have fabric? No, I don't have fabric. I decided I wanted to stitch that on 45 count, so I don't have the fabric yet. I don't have the threads yet, because I want to use the 103s, the SWA 103s, and I'm trying not to go hog wild, and that thing takes a lot of thread. So I was like, okay, well then that one's out. And I'm not really sure I'm up for that right now. I'd rather, stick with something smaller like Jessie Watson, because I've got a couple other Hands Across the Sea samplers I want to finish this year. And then I was thinking about another piece and then another sampler. I've got like 2 or 3 samplers kitted up that I've never started. But I started the Hiragana sampler from Modern Folk Embroidery as part of Stitch Asia, and I haven't had time to work on it very much, and decided because Jacob also put out the katakana sampler, that I would do these two together and make a few changes so I could personalize it, because when I was a graduate student, I got to spend a summer in Japan working with Japanese scientists and learning a little Japanese, and getting to meet some of the premier scientists in my specialty field, population genetics and evolutionary biology, who are Japanese, or were. One of them has since died, so I was very, very happy that I got a chance to meet him while he was still with us. But anyway, I wanted to do this as a commemoration of my time there, which I enjoyed very much, and also to participate in Stitch Asia and to keep participating. So Stitch Asia is, I guess you'd say, the brainchild of Abby Bella Stitch, and I forget who else. A couple other folks joined in and or gave her ideas. So the idea is to stitch either Asian themed designs or by Asian designers or Asian dyers, either fabric or threads, to just bring awareness of Asian culture as part of our culture, the greater American culture, and to think about the contributions of Asians to both world culture and to the country that we are today. For those of you that are Americans, they are part of us and have been for a very long time, probably much longer than most Americans realize. Anyway, so if you want to join me for my birthday month, I am my plan is to mainly work on this. So I'm not going to do Mania this year. I am going to do Stitch Asia for the month of May, my birthday month, and I'll continue it throughout the year, because even if I stitched on this every day, because I'm going to put the 2 samplers together and I still need to chart out the personalizations, I don't think I could get it done, because May is usually at least the first several weeks of May, 2 or 3 weeks of May are usually pretty busy. So this is something that I'm planning to work on mostly in May. I may work on a few other things. I have some other samplers and some smaller pieces that I want to work on also. But right now, my plan for this is to work on it at least every other day, or the equivalent of every other day. So you don't have to stitch this exact one, but if you want to stitch the Hiragana or the katakana sampler as part of, I haven't picked a hashtag yet. Let's just do it. Hashtag Deb's birthday SAL. And then hashtag Stitch Asia. Anyway, you can either stitch the Hiragana sampler, the katakana sampler, or any Asian themed thing you want to stitch, or by Asian designer. Your choice. But I hope you will join me. Okay, that's going over there. 39 minutes. I only had like 2 things to show, and I already spent 39 minutes with y'all. So I have a plan. This was supposed to be short, but it's not going to be, because I had a plan, and I'm just gonna keep on with it. I don't have any haul, but what I thought I would do is show you some of my oldest whips. And these are going to be my oldest cross stitch whips. I have some whips that are needlepoint And do I have any? I don't think I have any embroidery whips that are quite this old as some of the ones I'm going to show you. But definitely I have some needlepoint whips that are of the same era. Yeah, that old. As the older cross stitch whips that I'm going to show you. So, and this is probably not all of them because I just realized there's one that I don't remember if I actually finished or not. I mean, finished the stitching. No, I haven't finished it. I haven't FFO'd it, fully finished, made it into a fully finished object. So I might have to show that next time. And actually, I'm not, maybe I don't have it here. Okay, let me get these in order, I believe. Okay, so I'm going to start with the oldest one, the youngest ones first. Okay. And I'm just going to go by the date that's, except for this last one, I can't see the date that's on the pattern, because I don't remember the order that I stitched these in, and this might not be the order that I'm showing you, but that's okay. It was before I was really keeping track. Didn't keep any kind of diary or anything. So, first up, possibly started the stitch sometime in 2012. And this is the youngest. Just remember, this is the youngest of my older whips that I'm going to show you. A chick party, and these, I think there's 4 that I'm going to show you that are part of the Silver Needle Secret Needle Night. I was in their auto ship, I think it was back in 2004, 2005-ish. And then there were a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, there were several months each year that I was just like, eh. And I would like give it to my sister or somebody else. And so I just decided I would check each month with knowing that I might not be able to get it even if I really, really loved it, because maybe they didn't have any extra. So this one should be finished. There is no excuse. It should be not just finished stitching, it should be fully finished, because you guys are gonna laugh at me. Where did I go? Oh, there it is. I even put my initials on there, and I don't do that until I'm like, this is done. But those chicks have no eyes. There's beads for the eyes. And I think what was going on is that I was dithering over to use the beads that came with the kit, or find like some black pearl cotton or something and make French or colonial knots. Maybe. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, this puppy needs to get done. So, you know what? Actually, it's getting done today. When this is done, when I'm done with this video, I'm just getting the beads out and putting the beads on. Done. Done, done, done. It's like, what? And I have the finishing kit for that. I'm not going to finish, I don't think I'm going to finish it exactly the way it has got the fabric, and I'll use the fabric and stuff, but there'll be some parts of it that I won't use. Okay, so what's going on with this one? So this is another Secret Needle Night, like I said. I'm definitely not gonna, I didn't buy the finishing kit for this because I'm not gonna finish it into a little bag. But I am almost done with this one. Again, I have no idea why I stopped. No idea. So that one came out in 2011. I probably started stitching it then. I have no idea. Like, I need to do the sun and then there's a bird, a seagull button that goes over here. Just need to do that, put my initials on, and done. So sometime this summer, because this is summer, okay guys? Seasonal stitcher here. I'll take this out sometime, maybe May, maybe June, and get her done. Like, there is no excuse. I don't understand. I don't know why I put that down. I was, mentioning Tudor Rose had their stitch in yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I don't know why I put this. I wasn't talking about this one. It was another one that I'm going to show you later. Like, I don't know why I put those away, but I guess it was, and then never got back to it. I guess, you know, like squirrel. You know how something new and shiny came along. Okay, this one, I have no idea. This came out in February 2010. Again, probably started it then. Not sure. I think I'm almost done. Let me see. Oh, I need to... So I need to finish putting in the top of the carrot, and then I need to put the little beads and stuff on it. And I'm not sure why this, you know, I think I didn't finish it at Easter time, and it got put away, and then next year when Easter came along, I was probably working on the chicks or something. I don't know. Either that or I just couldn't decide how I was going to finish it. You know, FFO it. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'll finish it when I get to it. So I think I'll make like a little quilty thingy, hangy thingy. They sort of have it finished that way. I might do something similar to this. Not exactly. I didn't buy the finishing kit for this one either. You can buy finishing kits. Sometimes I do. If I like the fabric, I will. But I almost never finish them exactly the same way they have them finished. Okay. I'm making a big mess here. Now this one, I need to see what's going on with this one. This one might actually be finished. This one is, I'm gonna have to take it out of, oh, it is, okay. I'm gonna show it anyway because because if I don't, you'll probably like, okay, well, why? Show us anyway. I'm gonna need to take it out. Okay, so this is Silent Night. This came out in November 2010. Looks like I finished it in 2011. Here it is. I did get the finishing kit. The idea is to make a box to put your Christmas cards in. Again, I probably bought the kit because I liked the fabric. You can't see it here, but there must have been a picture online. Or I was thinking of actually finishing that way. I have no idea. But I'm probably not. So I just need to decide if I want to make it more like a flat padded mat board type finish, or do a little like easel back finish. Haven't decided. But I need to decide, obviously, because that puppy's done. You know, actually, I'm thinking this one might have come with me to Susan's a couple of times for consultation and walk me through the finishing. And we never got to it because I was working on something else. Okay, so those were 2012 to 2010-ish. Then I believe, okay, it's kind of a toss-up here. Let's see. It's either this one or the other one, but let me show you this one first. I don't know. Oh, there was a picture. Okay, so every couple of years, and I'm not sure they're still doing this, the Austin Stitchery Guild, which is the chapter of the Embroiderers Guild of America, that was my very first chapter. I no longer belong to it because I belong to the one down here. For a while I belonged to both, but I decided I'm pretty involved in the chapter down here, and I've never been particularly involved in the EGA chapter up in Austin, so I decided to drop it. But anyway, but they would put on a show every couple of years where members would submit their work to be part of the show, and there'd usually be a class and so on and so forth. And in 2008, they had this show, and this was the name tag. And I was planning to go. And I started the name tag. And then I never finished it. And I'm thinking it's because that was the year I was going through cancer treatment. And I did make it to the retreat. But by then, because the retreat came like right after my very first chemo treatment. And this would have been a little bit later, like February or March. And I probably just was not feeling up to it and decided not to go. And so put it away and never finished it. I'm not sure if I am going to finish it. I might not. It's cute, but it's not like, I'm not like totally in love with it. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But if I'm not going to finish it, I need to recoup all the stuff that's in here. Like there's even little, I don't know why those are in there. Little hoops. I don't know. These could be used for finishing. I don't know why those are in there. So let me put that aside. That might just be cannibalized for other things. Okay, so this next one is a big one. And I'm not sure exactly when I started it. This chart it was basically like a mystery SAL. Let me show you the first one. It's Bent Creek, the big zipper. It came out, the first piece came out, I believe, in 2007. Let's see, is there a copyright on here? Yes, 2007. And Susan taught me how to read Ginger's little cards here, little tags with her prices. And that also it says 0407, which I believe means April 7th. April 07. So it started coming out then, and it was I can't remember if it was monthly or every other month, but anyway, so you can see this is on 18 count linen with pearl cotton over 2. And I just thought this was cute, and I had been doing some of their zippers. You've seen I've showed you some of them. Some of them are on the wall at my house in Corpus Christi. So I started working on it, and I even have it on a big frame, scroll frame. And that's as far as I got. And I don't remember why I put this down. Oh, I think I do know. So if I started this sometime in 2007, which I'm pretty sure is when I did. So so this is a little bit older than the one I just showed you. The end of that year is when I was diagnosed with cancer. And once I started my chemo, I pretty much stopped stitching. I was doing a lot of beading then too, making my own jewelry, mainly bracelets. And I pretty much stopped beading and stitching after my first couple of chemo treatments because my eyes got really weepy. And by this time, it was really hard for me to bead or stitch without reading glasses on, or at least my glasses. No, reading glasses. I didn't have no line bifocals yet. So that's when I really got back into knitting. And that was my passion for the longest time until I hurt my wrist last year from doing too much knitting. So my main thing was knitting. I had picked up stitching again after I moved down here, and got involved with the local Embroidery Guild chapter more. And but for some reason I just never picked that back up. I don't know why. I ended up, I think it sat in my house in Corpus for a while. It kind of got buried in a closet, and I ended up starting all those Ubers instead because holidays. holidays and seasons, sign me up. So anyway, this is what it's supposed to, I believe this is the last piece, so this should be the complete what it looks like when it's complete. So I should probably get this back out and work on it a little bit. I think I would probably just keep it on the scroll frame because it's so big. It is pearl cotton, and I can put it on my stand, and since my wrist is feeling better, I might even be able to work with two hands. So I keep my, normally if I'm not stitching in hand, I started stitching in hand last year. If I'm not stitching in hand, I keep my right hand, which is actually my dominant hand, underneath, and use my left hand, which is my weaker hand, on top. And so fortunately I was able to, my whole wrist thing going on. For those of you that are new, last year I between having a lot of computer work for work, and a lot of knitting for some gifts, and just because knitting and stitching and things like that are my stress relief, my wrist was very painful for a long time, and I just recently started knitting. I'm still taking it pretty easy because I tried to restart a couple of times and it would lead to wrist pain. Okay. Anyway, that's probably why that got put away, is that's when I really got into knitting in a big way, to the point where I also was test knitting for people, and then even got into editing knitting patterns. I had my Science Knitster became, I called it Science Knitster Works, became my business, which I actually haven't formally closed, but is not operating at the moment because being a department chair, I don't have time. Okay, I think the next thing, based on dates, should be this one. So this came out also in 2007, and I'm pretty sure I started working on this before the whole cancer thing. I think I started it that summer, because I had finished the spring one. It is on my wall in my house in Corpus Christi right now, and I had actually forgotten how far I got on this one. I looked at this last night and I'm like, oh my God, you're so close. Why? And I even have this came out, so I'm sorry, this is Heart in Hand. It was a kit, and she had one for each season. And the idea was, I don't know if you can tell, the frame on these, it's got this crackled finish, and I think the frame was from East Side Molding. And there was a frame, so I think spring came out first, then summer, then fall. And I got the frames when they came out, but I never could find the winter frame. So I don't know if it never came out or what, but so I don't know what I'm going to do when I finish the winter one. Does it say what the frame? Oh, it just says limited edition frame from Heart in Hand. I might, I follow her on, maybe I'll try emailing her from her website and ask whatever happened. But anyway, and I see some notes here where I made some boo-boos. Maybe that's part of the reason I put it away. But I'm thinking that the same thing probably happened is after the whole cancer thing. I kind of was, by then I was really into knitting. So this is a 32 count. I'm not sure, I think it's natural. And it came with all the threads and the fabric, everything in this cute little, it's like a Chinese takeout box. And so you can see, oh, I'm sorry. I've got it the wrong way. Somewhere's supposed to be on top. So I think, according to my notes, I put this shovel in the wrong place, but I'm going to double check that. So I want to finish this summer and frame it. Since I have the frame, I just need to get some glass for it because cats and cat hair, I put glass on my stuff. And then maybe in the fall, I can do the fall one. And I had actually pulled out the winter one to work on this winter, but Ann Roberts, so anyway, so that was another 2007. And then 2006. And these next two, I'm not sure which order I started them in. So I'm just going by the dates, either on the piece or on the price tag for the other one. So this is Catherine's Sampler by Eileen Bennett. This was only available in a class. She doesn't, as far as I know, she isn't selling this. But it's inspired by Catherine of Aragon, first wife of Henry VIII. And this, I actually put the date of the class in here, February 10th, 2006. And let me get the piece out. So this is, I don't remember if I stitched on this after the class or not. So this is on a 32 count Belfast linen. I don't remember if she told us the color. It might say in there. But there's, different specialty stitches, and I'm trying to remember, is this DMC or Anchor? I think it's all DMC. Mostly floss, a little bit of, looks like number 12 or 16 pearl cotton. Let me see if I can read that. I can't tell. I don't want to take it out of there. This part, I believe, is over 1. And this was about when I was, starting to have more and more issues working on finer count linen. Okay, so back in the early 2000s, late 90s, and 32 count linen was the finest you could easily get. I think I remember mentioning I had some 36 count linen that I had to special order. Like, you couldn't just go to your LNS and expect to find 32 count or 36 count or 40 count on the shelf. I remember when the Hawk Run Hollow and those came out, and it called for 40 count linen. It's like they got special cuts because they just, it wasn't, like I said, just couldn't go, and it was on the shelf. Just didn't happen. So I have to decide if I want to go back to this or not. So this actually was a class sponsored by the Austin Stitchery Guild, and it was part of their show that year. So this was their 2006 show. So yeah, I don't know if I'll get back to this or not. Not sure. Probably. I'm a fan of Catherine, so. And then, again, that one might have gotten started first. I'm not sure. So this is this is a Bent Creek. It was a kit. And I believe everything came in the kit. Yeah, I think this was a complete kit. And I'm sorry, it got in the bottom of a basket and got mangled. But it's complete kit. And I remember I was in Ginger's, I think I was there for one of Susan's finishing classes, now that I think about it. And I picked this up as something to do while I was waiting. So the price tag on it says it's from 2005, and I think that's, I'm trying to see. So it's just one of their little zipper kits. Sarah. Yeah, 2005 is when this came out. So I started it, and I can't remember. I think actually, to be honest, I'm not sure if I put all of this in at the time, and I think, yeah, I'm not sure exactly where I am on here. I'm gonna need to look. I tend to start near the middle. So I might need to see where the middle is and see where I started. This might be upside down. Anyway, and I pulled this out this last year, right before Christmas, thinking I might work on it, but I never got to it. But it's cute, it's a sheep. So, holiday cheer. If I ever get this one finished, I'd be happy to pass the stash on the pattern. Okay, I do want to finish that because I love sheep. Okay, so what else we got? I know I started this one in 2005 because I remember I started it when we lived in Virginia, and I don't have a picture to show you. I've actually shown this one before. This is a group correspondence course that I signed up for through the Embroidery Guild of America, and it is the 17th century band sampler by Ilse Altair. And I am stitching it. This is probably the called for linen. It looks like it might be 28 count. Not sure. And here's the floss. I know I changed the colors. I cannot find the chart and the instructions for the GCC. So I have posted, actually over a month ago now, in the EGA Stitch Along Facebook group, and several people offered to send me theirs, their chart, because they finished it. So I think I'm going to take them up on it because I have gone through my stitchy things in our house in Corpus and have not come upon it. I'm thinking it either got buried in a box that never got unpacked, or it's in a binder with other things and is hidden, and I just haven't gone through every single binder because I tend to put those in a binder. Okay, because I do want to finish that one. Okay, so that was from, I know I started that in 2005. Now, the next few things, I don't know the exact order, and I don't know the exact year. Probably 2000 or 2001. And I'm not sure which one of these, the next two I'm going to show, I'm not sure which one of these I started first. So let me see if I can find the finished. See, that's March 3. Here we go. Is that it? Why would I have? Oh, here, let's do this one. Okay. So this is the finished sampler. This is the Millennial, the Fleur de Lis Millennium sampler. It was 4 parts. It came out in 2000, and I know I started this with the San Antonio Guild. At the time, I was living in between San Antonio and Austin, and I had originally joined Austin because I was working in Austin. I had a fellowship a postdoctoral fellowship at University of Texas at Austin. And then I kind of just worked part-time at the local college where we were living in San Marcos. And then the next year I was at a full-time but temporary position at Trinity University in San Antonio. And actually even before then, I had found out that the San Antonio Guild had these Saturday, the Austin Guild met during the week. So when I was no longer working in Austin, I just didn't want to deal with Austin traffic during the week. And the San Antonio Guild had these, what did they call them? They had like I think it was the first Saturday, one of the Saturdays of the month, they had a technique class, technique day or whatever they called it. And I had been going to a couple of those, and they had started the Millennium sampler, and I can't remember if we actually started it in 2000 or 2001. So I'm not sure when I started this, but I've gotten fairly far, but not as far as I should have. And I'm trying to remember why I stopped working on it. I think at that point I was maybe getting more into needlepoint. I don't know. Just don't know. But anyway, it's mainly DMC threads. I think some of these have been cannibalized for other projects. And let's see, this looks like, I think this is 32 count, probably Lugana, because it looks like an even weave. So this is as far as I got. Here's some of the threads. So I know why this band is blank, because I had decided I didn't like what was in there and I wanted to do something else. And I think that's probably part of what stopped me. It's because I couldn't decide what I wanted to do. But yeah, I don't know why I didn't finish those other bands. I don't know. I'm thinking I might have taken this off scroll rods for something else, and it never got put back on. So that's, but I do want to get back to this, and I'd really love to finish it this year, because we even went through like we learned how to finish this for a bell pull type finish, and I'm sure I have those instructions somewhere. So I would really love to finish that one, and I do have all the instructions. Everything is here. This is I just started getting these this last year, so I put everything in here with the idea I was going to work on it this last year for my chapters challenge for last year, but I ended up starting all those hat samplers, so that never happened. And it looks like I'm making another movie. Okay, so I'm not sure if that one got started first or this one. But this came out in, when did this come out? I think this came out in 2000. Yes. And I remember falling in love with it, and I believe this was one of the first things, if not the first thing, I stitched with over dies. This is the Busy Bee Sewing Case by With Thy Needle, Ellen Chester. And look at this. I finished the little needle thing that goes inside. It wasn't a kit, but it did come. Did come with this fabric, and you could, and I did, order from Ellen the little. Let me see. I changed where the orientation of my iPad, thinking I might actually be able to figure out where to look. It doesn't seem to be working. Anyway, to get this little ruler. Look at the little bee skep. Is that not cute? Anyway, so I don't know. This was the thing I was talking to the folks at the Tudor Rose Guild about. It's like, I don't know why I didn't finish this, because I remember being so excited about this. And at the time, my hair was about that color, so I don't know why. So I've got, one of the sides finished, or not. No, got this finished for the little needle thingy, and I don't know what stopped me. Got all the thread. So this is the one I was like, maybe squirrel came by and never got back to it. I don't know. But I need to work on this. Definitely need to, and I think all my threads. So I'm pretty sure I'm using the called for, and it's a 32 count. That's probably Amsterdam blue. Let me see, is that what's called for? Yes, 32 count Amsterdam blue linen from Zweigert. Both the sewing case and the scissor weight. Which means, oh, I have some more of this. I used it for that Barbara Anna. I need to make sure I kept a piece for the little scissor fobby thing with the little bee skip on it. I love bee skips. Can you tell? Okay, I got one more to show you. Almost movie length. So, let's see, that needs to go back in there. So I thought one of those two was my oldest whip. And then last night when I was getting all that stuff out, oh, okay, before I get this out. So what prompted all this? Well, the challenge for this year that the Tip of Texas Guild has put to members, EGA chapter has put to members, is to get out your oldest whip and decide if you want to finish it or not. Well, first, say why you never finished it. You know, what kept you from finishing it. And then number 2, decide if you're going to finish it or not. And if you're not going to finish it, give it away. And then go to your next oldest whip. If you're going to finish it, then your challenge is to finish it this year. So I thought one of those two was my oldest whip, and I picked this. So I wasn't sure which one. At least my oldest cross-stitch whip. I have some, as I mentioned, some canvas stuff, needlepoint and related, that is as old, maybe, as those two that I just showed you. Not before then, probably. Depends on when I actually started those. But I know I have a couple of pieces that I, on canvas that I started either in 2000 or 2001. Maybe 2002. I'd have to go back and look at them. They were class pieces, so I can figure out. Oh, and actually, I do have one other piece that I don't have with me that I forgot to mention, that is also about the same age as those two, around 2000, 2001, got started. A class piece from the Austin Stitchery Guild hosted the South Central region of the EGA's seminar, the South Central Region seminar. So, and that was, I think that was in 2000. That would have been the summer of 2000. In which case, I know that piece had to have gotten started earlier than a Millennial. It might have been 1999. Which case, it's older than both of these. Probably has the date on it, but I don't have the stuff here. I forgot to bring it back with me. I've been meaning to do that, but I forgot. Okay, but anyway, it may not matter because this might be my oldest whip. And I had the picture, and oh, no, okay. So this is from an old cross stitch and country needlework, I think. I'll look at the front here in a minute. It's saguaro or different cacti. So let me look. This is from January, February, cross stitch and country crafts. I need to look at the cover and see if I can figure out if this was my magazine or my mother's. Because for the life of me, oh, it's mine. From Athens, Georgia. I have no idea when I started this. I don't remember that I started it in Athens, but I could have. I just don't remember that I did a lot of stitching then. But let me show you. So I'm stitching this on Ada, and looks like it's 14 count, and it probably is because that's mainly what I stitched. If I actually started this when we lived in Athens, Georgia, it was started before 1998. That's about all I can tell you. If I started it after, then it could have gotten started in 98 or 99. Like, I'm done with the cacti. I just have to do the back stitch. And this kind of, some of the fiber here reminded me that I had started putting in this bottom border thing and then took it out. And I don't remember why. Okay, so it's this blue, so it's probably hard to see. But right underneath here, there's this blue. And I think I decided that I didn't want the lizards in there, and I wasn't sure I wanted this. I don't know. And then maybe I was just going to put the cactus name and be done. I don't know. And I don't know if I want to finish this, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe I should just finish the back stitching and get it and fully finish it. I don't know. So this is probably my oldest whip, but I'm not sure because I don't know when I started it. Could have been any time between 2019 and 2000. Probably wasn't 2000. Probably was before then. So this has got to be my oldest whip. I just don't remember. I don't remember working on it when we lived in Athens. I do vaguely remember working on it a few times when we lived in Texas the first time. So I don't know. So now I feel like I need to fess up to my Embroiderers Guild group and say, you know, this has got to be my oldest whip, but I don't know what I want to do with it. I don't know. Anyway, so that's what I had to show you. I'll show you that other one that I have to figure out if it's older than the sewing, the Busy Bee sewing case. I'm pretty sure it's not older than the Millennial sampler, because I'm pretty sure I went to that seminar before I joined, because I was very new member of the Austin Stitchery Guild when I went to that. You know what? It had, I think my birthday present was going to that seminar. I have to go back and look and see if I can figure out. Oh, I can ask Susan. She might remember, because I think she was involved in the planning, so she probably remembers. Anyway, that's all I have. Was that enough? So if you have old country craft or old country cross stitch and country crafts, which became cross stitch and needle, I forget. It went through several name changes. You might still be able to do that cactus one. I think Ellen Chester still has for sale her stuff. Your LNS should be able to get it. The Millennium sampler, I'm not sure if it's available to members of the Embroiderers Guild of America or not. You may be able to buy old editions, old issues, where that would, so those were in the 2000 issues of Needle Arts, EGA's magazine, if that interests you. The Bent Creek, I am not sure if the big zipper is still available, but they've been re-releasing some of their stuff. So if it's not, maybe they will. Trying to think. Yeah, and then some of that other stuff, like the class stuff, anything that was from a class is probably not available anymore. And then the Secret Needle Nights, I know, are not available anymore because those are really old ones. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little trip through memory lane. I think I had this will only take a minute. The science corner today, I did want to have a little science corner, and had been thinking about not having one, but because I wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about, and some of the stuff I was thinking might interest people right now are not things I can talk about off the cuff. I would have to do a little research to make sure I'm giving out correct information. But I did, one thing that happened just before I had planned to start filming this, and I ended up starting a bit later than I originally planned, is that I have a hummingbird feeder, right? I have sliding glass doors right here, and I have a hummingbird feeder right out here. And I noticed a hummingbird coming to it. It's the first hummingbird I'd seen come to the feeder since my husband put it up when he came for Easter. So I was like, oh crap, that's really old hummingbird juice. We make our own. And I need to replace it. So I had to call him and make sure I remembered the recipe. It's like the recipe, it's got 2 ingredients, and I'm going to give it to you right now. And so I had to call him and ask and make sure I remembered it correctly. And so I had to have 2 hummingbird feeders, and I switch them out so I can wash them in the dishwasher in between, because they can get kind of gross because it's hot. It's starting to get hot here already, so I can easily get moldy, and then the ants like to go in there, even though it's got a little moat to keep them out of there. Anyway, hummingbird juice. If you have hummingbird feeders, you do not need to buy hummingbird juice. You can make your own. It is easy. Just take a cup of water. This works for ours. We have those round ones. So if you've got the bottle kind, you might need to make more. So basically the proportions are a 1/4 cup of sugar and a cup of water. You can heat it in the microwave a little bit to get the sugar to dissolve, but if you just stir it for a while, and that's what my husband does, he just stirs it because he hates to use electricity for things he can do himself. He just stirs it until it dissolves, because you're not making like a super saturated thing. I was in a hurry, so I popped mine in the microwave for 30 seconds twice, and my last stir, it all went into solution, and it wasn't that hot. I just put it right in there, filled my little moat, and hung it out there. But anyway, that's all you need to do. And you don't need to put red food coloring in. They will find it. They will find it. So anyway, I just wanted to put that little tidbit out for the science corner. So if you enjoy hummingbirds and want to put some feeders out, or have some feeders and have been buying the hummingbird juice, you can make your own. It's probably cheaper. Just get some sugar and some water. I use filtered water because our water has a lot of calcium in it. I don't think it really matters, but I use a Brita filter. Anyway, that's all you need. And just put it in your feeder, put it out there. The birds will find it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope, if you haven't yet, I hope you will subscribe. Hope you'll come back. And I plan to be back in 2 weeks. Hopefully that'll work out. It's the end of the semester, so hopefully. So I'll be back in May. So that should be May, right? Yeah, that's May. 2 weeks is May. Oh my goodness. Is that right? Yeah, it has to be right. Because today's the 18th. In 2 weeks, that's 14 days. So that'll be May 2nd, I believe. Anyway, so I'll be back in May with my birthday SAL, and I hope you will join in some way, however it fits your stitchy plans. And next time I also will talk a little bit about some other things that folks have going on. They've already been mentioned in a lot of places, but it probably wouldn't hurt to have another mention a little bit later than everybody else. So have a great 2 weeks, and enjoy your stitchy and crafty time. Please be kind to yourself and be kind to your neighbors. Bye-bye.